Hey guys, welcome back. As you can tell, I'm going ahead and building my log cabin slash shed here, and things are going pretty smoothly. I've never built with logs like this before. I've only built with dimensional lumber and timbers, and so things are working out quite well for the most part. Now what you're seeing me using here are these things. These are log screws, and these seem to be working pretty well. I've never used them before. I had considered some other building methods when sort of looking into building with logs like this. I looked into rebar, I looked into hardwood dowels, and these seem to be the easiest. And I got to tell you, they are pretty easy. I'm just using a drill there and obviously a generator. And fortunately for me, this old Honda, which you've seen me struggle with before, it's up and running. My dad was actually playing around with it, trying to get it going, and he seemed to get everything back into tip-top shape. So that's what we're using here today. We've got 3 courses already, or at least 3 on this side and 3 on the other side. We still have to put 1 more on the back here to get 3 full courses. I'm going to continue on here. My logs are over there. We'll pretty much just keep working until we're done. My first sort of look at this is those log screws are rock solid. That wall feels solid already, so we're going to keep at her here, and glad you're here. Here we go. Well, folks, there we have it. There's 7 rows of logs on my log structure here. Now, I got a whole bunch more to go. I got to go up to like 18 or 19 rows in order to get my my ceiling clearance. And so I better get a ladder. At this point, I'm just about at my maximum for lifting logs into place by hand. I'll have to use the equipment before long. Got the log loader trailer over there, the grapple on the tractor. It's just a bit precarious because obviously you don't want the log to fall off while you're working up there. Maybe I'll end up running a 2x4 on the inside or something that I can set it against. But overall, being my very first experience building a log structure in this nature, I've enjoyed it. Things go quite quickly, but I am finding it's not what I'm used to. I'm used to working with dimensional lumber, and so I'm sort of looking at the building and I'm trying to get the walls as plumb as possible, and well, just have a look down it. You can do your best, but at the end of the day, it's just that, it's your best. It's not exactly perfect. So if anything, I want the walls to lean inwards as opposed to outwards. That way, if it gets taller, it doesn't start putting more and more weight outside of the building. Last thing you want is the wall to start to push outwards. But on the front here, all the way up here, I'm going to eventually have probably a post, and I'll scribe a line and cut all of these even, put that post attached to them, and then I'll have some sort of a log header, and that'll tie both of these walls together, sort of like the back end is doing right now. You'll also notice I put some more blocks underneath that middle section. I don't want to have any sag at this point. I will eventually put additional supports when I put the floor in, but for now that's what we're doing. So just some things I'm learning right off the start here. Cutting the flat sides on the top and the bottom with my sawmill, that made things go really smoothly. For the most part, the logs are all about the right dimension, 5.5 inches. They might be off 1/8 of an inch here and there due to dull blades or knots or whatever, but they're all really close, so it more or less just stacks up nicely. Now this is what I'm using as a fastener, and as I said before, these are pretty expensive. These are like $1.20 Canadian each, so you don't want to mess around with them. But they're very strong from what I read, so they go together very easily, the logs that is, using those. And I didn't have to work up too big of a sweat getting them in there, so all is good that way. Now one thing is not good is that generator. Now it was running really good to start off the day, and now it's starting to be temperamental. It's running for a minute or 30 seconds or 5 minutes, and then it quits. And inevitably it quits at the worst time. You'll be up there on the log trying to position everything and fasten it, then the thing will quit. So hopefully that works next time around. However, a downside right now, we got a whole bunch of 12-footers here, but that's all we got. There's some 16s over there, a 15 in there, one more 9-footer, but that's it. These two over here, they're not going to work. So what I got to do is I got to go back to my red pines, get some more logs, get them cut to length, get them debarked, get them sawn on 2 sides before we're back out here building. So I'll get down to work. I'll get that before long. Hopefully you guys come along for that journey. It's a bit of a process, but I'm quite happy with the results. Hopefully you guys are too. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you put it down below. I'd say this is turning out to be a pretty good project. I'll probably continue building with logs in the future. Maybe not the butt and the pass method for notching. Maybe I'll do something more traditional in the future, but for now I'm quite happy with it, and the rustic look is spot on. That's it for me here, guys. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Don't forget to give her the old like-a-roo, and I'll see you next time.